Welcome to the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show, a broadcast service of globalbusinessnews.net.
This episode from the meeting room of Global TV Talk Show is brought to you by
The Bridge School, the accredited international online private school of choice, at bridgek12.org.
Porch Light Rental and Destination Services. Reduce your renter lump sum or managed relocation costs. Visit them at porchlightrental.com.
CubeMonk, featuring the world's first smart cube. Track your goods with our advanced GPS system. Welcome to the future of moving and relocation at cubemonk.com.
Primestone Partners, featuring corporate, government, and developer housing solutions, as well as senior-level advisory services. Find them at primestonepartners.com.
And by heirs.com. With our full range of services, we can help design and manage your international relocation. Find us at heirs.com.
Insured Nomads provides protection and peace of mind with health insurance, travel insurance, group, or tailored insurance for the globally mobile. Visit us at insurednomads.com.
And by International Auto Source. We are the vehicle experts for expats, featuring all major brands of automobiles with flexible solutions and financing. On the web at intlauto.com.
Become a global player in your field.
Cross Culture to Go provides virtual support for your global business and career success.
We can help you thrive in 140 plus countries and markets.
On the web at crossculturetogo.com.
This is Ed Cohen in San Diego, California, and it's April 15th. Used to be tax day. So good. So this is Global TV Talk Show. This is a business unit of globalbusinessnews.net. Go and see the latest stuff we have. It's all free. Nothing to sign, nothing to buy. Very special guest today, once again, is Verano and Chase Eskelsen. Hi there, buddy.
Hey, Ed, thanks so much for having me.
But our special guest today is Todd Rash, and he's going to talk about Flip Switch. Todd, welcome to Global TV. Tell us about yourself, what your day job is, and what it means to you in this upside down world we're living in right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I work for Flip Switch. Flip Switch is a marketing, advertising, and communications company that deals exclusively in education. We only work with schools and other ed tech or education companies that serve K-12 schools, whether they're online, brick and mortar, whether they're public, charter, private, national, regional, international, but we only work in education. And, when you work in advertising, you could do a lot of things. You could help people sell widgets and things like that. But when we're working in education and you're helping people actually advance their lives, it gives a lot more meaning to what we do and a lot more satisfaction to what we do every day.
Chase, why don't you talk to us about Flip Switch and StrongMinds and how they might be related?
Yeah, so Flip Switch is an entity that is also based in the Phoenix area. And Verano actually has partnered with Flip Switch to support our schools. And so we'll talk a little bit more about what they do here in a few minutes, but the foundation of where they're coming from, it's not just another marketing gig, right? It's a calling to help students find the best fit for their family. And when we heard them talk about that, we said, we got to partner with these guys. They're fantastic at what they do. And we're just so aligned. Our missions are so aligned. Our visions are aligned. And it just made a match made in heaven, really. Funny enough, Ed, it's actually the Flip Switch team that's helping us put on the cutting edge. So they're
cool.
Intimately involved with that project.
Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. So, Todd, what is your role at the agency?
Well, I oversee everything. Okay. So my background, I started in advertising. I almost hate to say how long, but it's 35 years ago. Started off as a designer, art director, and creative director. I worked in Indianapolis, Chicago, worked in London for a little bit, back to Chicago, and then I was transferred out to Arizona with the same agency that entire time. We had Motorola as a client, so I did a lot.
Semiconductors there.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, so a very long time ago, I published a relocation print magazine, guidebook, recruitment guide called Arizona Bound. That was part of my U.S. Bound paper print series, which I can't believe we ever did. It was so much work and expense. Anyway, this is really interesting stuff. So I've been in PR myself since about 15, doing a number of things. And so I get it. All right, so we have a video to show, Paul, if you can, and then Todd and Chase, if you can do a voiceover of what we're looking at afterwards on the other side.
I love it. It's better than our last one for sure.
For StrongMind, I think the layout is really user-friendly. That helps me stay on track and know, oh, you know what, this is in the chapter and there's sub-chapters and these are checkpoints. So I enjoy that and I appreciate that.
It's difficult, but very thorough, and it's not super confusing. I'm able to move right along through it. I just have to keep myself determined and grounded to getting it done.
I really like how the content's presented. The gist of it is really concentrated and it's well explained. And birds.
They all suddenly
I feel like it's made in a way that's it's more easy to absorb than a classic textbook.
I think the first month having a new online program was a little challenging, but once I figured out how the website worked better, I really got the hang of it, and it's getting a lot easier now.
They make it interesting. You learn about, it's very relevant. They teach you about, self-driving cars and how that kind of works in English. I've been able to apply what I've learned to my everyday life, which is cool.
It's more critical thinking than our last one, which is what we need.
It's also good for a Santa Barbara-based school. Santa Barbara City College uses Canvas, and it's a Canvas-based program. So
yeah, it's exactly.
It kind of gets kids used to that. So
yeah,
they're gonna have to use that a lot in college.
Exactly, they'll be using similar materials in college, and I feel like StrongMind's setting us up for that.
Yeah, so you can see that I've got the great advantage to work with a fantastic team of storytellers. And whether we're working with a company like StrongMind to tell the story of the product they're selling in education, or whether we're working with a school that is trying to allow their community to know what they're offering, we really come in and look at it as how best we can tell the story, whether that's through video, sometimes it's through print, sometimes it's through pictures and written word. But we look at how best to reach the audience. Video is just one of those mediums that is obviously easy to digest and does a great job of telling the story very succinctly.
I think the birds told the best story.
That's my favorite part. I told Todd, I said, if we play a video, we've got to play the birds.
Right. Just perfect. So these kids are really lucky. Now, is this an advanced placement thing, or is it for everyday people?
It's for everyday students. Yeah, it's for advanced placement to everyday students or to those who are trying to catch up.
Yeah. So they mentioned Canvas. What's that?
Canvas is a LMS. I want to call it sort of a structure, I guess. And we customize StrongMind customizes Canvas to use as their LMS. So you can, off the shelf, Canvas really doesn't do that much, but it's the content and everything that goes into it that really makes it robust. And that's where StrongMind shines.
And what's LMS?
Learning Management System.
Got it. Okay. So is there a particular type of school that fits FlipSwitch better?
There really isn't. I mean, we work with public schools. We work with charters. We've got we're the agency of record for the Albuquerque Public School District. That's tough to say.
Yeah.
We've got hybrid schools in Ohio. We've got online schools in Michigan. We've got schools here in Arizona. Primavera, the largest school here in Arizona, as a client. To multiple clients in California, to Idaho. And it really, the only thing that we really differentiate is that we want to work with K-12 schools. We don't work with post-secondary. So we really try to, we know our niche, we know what we're good at, and we stick to it.
So within K-12, is it more 6 through 9?
I'd say it's more 6 through 12 than anything. That really seems to be where, I mean, our online clients, our online school clients, that's really where they really tend to shine. But I mean, we've got several K to 6 and K to 8 clients as well. So,
and one school that this audience would know really well is the Bridge School with Julie Taylor, and Todd's team supports the Bridge School, which is a K through 12 school that's international from coast to coast and everywhere in between, all the way around.
That's great. Okay, and what other services are involved for FlipSwitch?
Well, when we are partnering with a school or a client, we sometimes they say they want one thing, but we kind of come in and really sort of do an analysis of what is best for them. And we create websites, we do branding, we do social media. Sometimes they're looking, they want to run their own social media, and they want us to come in and do training, which we do, just to show them how best to do it. We do TV advertising, we do radio advertising. So we do a lot of traditional as well as digital. And we do everything in-house. We don't outsource anything, which is a great, that's how we're able to keep our costs in line and affordable for our clients.
So basically you are telling a story, or enabling the telling of a story, and some of the things need to be told this way and follow up that way, because it's how people learn. Anybody, they take it visually or auto, hearing or reading, right? So you develop that pathway.
Right. We look at where their audience is and how best to reach that audience. And there's a lot of similarities between education and advertising, because in both you have an audience, in both you want to deliver a message, and in both you want to deliver that message in such an engaging way that it's retained by the audience. And that's kind of where how we found sort of our synergy at FlipSwitch in working with education clients. We understand each other very well and what we're doing, but it's a little bit different.
Something that's really neat is that the Bridge School partners with various organizations to provide learning for their students. For example, we partner with a major ballet company, and we are able to enroll several of their students into our school. So now not only is the student able to participate in a school and have a seamless transition while they're very active in their ballet career, but now they have other dancers that are with them that are doing some of the same courses. So it's almost becoming a camaraderie where they're taking similar courses, they're working together on their ballet, and really being able to form this great partnership with these organizations to provide a needed service. A lot of times there are student athletes who will spend hours and hours at the gym or at the basketball courts, wherever it is. And if they're attending a traditional school, they're in school from 8 to 3. They get a quick snack, and then they're at the gym for 3 to 4 hours in the evening. Coming to us and having that partnership, they're able to break that up throughout the day. They can have a morning practice, get some schooling in, have an afternoon practice, finish their schooling in the evening. So there's that flexibility. And additionally, if there are tournaments or performances, it's fantastic because if there's a week where they have shows straight through, they can take that week off of learning and then pick back up when they're done. So it offers this great flexibility. And for the program owners of these sports leagues, it is a win-win situation for them because they see this need. They see this need that their students need to make sure that they are obtaining the grades necessary to be successful adults in our country and in other countries. But it provides them an environment where they can be successful at both.
So there's a certain program, like for instance, I bet, I'm just going to guess, that the iCode would have its own unique characteristics, and that Bridge School will have some others and some others. So, like for instance, the idea, and we just had a show, we talked about music therapy to take care of wellness, that kind of thing. And how they communicate that, because some people think they space out or they're on drugs or something, but it's really, I took part of that course myself so I could understand it better, and it was really relaxing. And it doesn't take more than 3 minutes, but man, that was good. So I imagine what you guys do is take an idea of how to communicate certain problem-solving technique relevant to whatever the course is, and then surrounding it with different media.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, and first we look at what the audience is and how to reach that audience. And like you said, sometimes we've got to reach that audience with visuals, sometimes it's auditory, sometimes it's with written word. And then we create the program or campaign, however you want to word it, that sort of encapsulates that to best serve our clients.
So what do you think those birds were saying? I mean, can you imagine what those birds were saying to each other? I have no idea, but maybe you do.
They were just trying to piss off our camera crew and our audio guy.
I'm sorry, Chase. It's your dollar here.
I was just going to say that Verano is probably a really good example of the things they can do because, on this show, we've talked about the fact that we have a school in Arizona and we have a school in Ohio, and they both share the same name, Valor. But the student populations and the methods that we take in order to reach those families are very different. And FlipSwitch has been fantastic about saying, okay, just because it worked in Arizona doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work the exact same way in Ohio. So how can we best meet the needs of those families and help them know about this incredible option that they have? And so I think we're a great testament to the fact that it's not a one size fits all, but how do we take what you need, school specifically, and create something around that?
So some parents think it's been a lost year for the online education or no education. Todd, what do you think about that?
Well, as somebody who's got 2 high schoolers and one that's about to graduate, it hasn't been a lost year for those parents who know how to seek out the right alternative to serve their kids best. So that has really been the key to those parents. Now, there's some parents who don't realize that there are options out there, which that I think is the disservice, and that's one reason that I think schools who go out and communicate their message and their story, they are doing their communities a service, because it's not a one fits all. It's very, I mean, I remember when I was a kid, you had two options, and it was public school or private school. And I went to both, and today, you've got a multitude of options out there. And that's why I think the schools that are telling their story and making their options known to the communities that they serve are doing a service to their audience and to their parents and students.
So this is your success stories. So schools haven't been in the marketing business, right?
No,
yeah,
they are not, and I don't think they should be, because they know how to educate students, and that's what they should stick at doing. We can come in and do the communications and marketing for them.
So do you deal with parent advocacy groups?
Occasionally, and how we do that is we will engage them to let them know the options that are available in their community. And they will help us to get the message out there. And the great way to do that's on social media. Social media is really where those communities, I think, do their best work in communicating the options that are out there.
So I'm finding groups. I mean, not just me, but Joanne. She's in all these different groups that I'm not in. And there's people who are geographically in a group or topic-wise in another group, and everybody's chat. I mean, there's no time to watch the news on NBC, for those people. I happen to be a news junkie, but she's not. And so getting your messages out through these little groups, it takes a lot of effort and expertise. So I would assume FlipSwitch has a focus on learning how to make this magic happen.
We do, and to share a little bit of secret sauce, there are ways to create lookalike audiences on social media, particularly in Facebook.
Lookalike? Wait, what's that?
If you have a small audience over here that a school serves, and what the demographics, and you've got a little bit of their contact information, you can import that information into Facebook, and Facebook will say, hey, we see this audience that you've imported that's of, let's say, 1,000 people. Well, we've got 100,000 more that match the demographic, psychographics, income of that same group. So this is the group you should be advertising to. This is the group that you should be sending your message to. So that's one way we're able to really increase the audience, but really keep it focused for our clients.
Fascinating. So Chase, what's up for, here we are in late April. God, it's almost the end of the typical school year, but this year there's no end in sight, right? With supplemental and summer school.
Yeah, we had Inga Cotton join your show. I don't know, when was that, Ed? 2 months ago, maybe. Yeah. And Inga talked a lot about the different resources that parents have specifically going into the summer. Well, this morning, I pre-recorded an episode of The Cutting Edge with Inga again, and we talked about, here are some things specifically to summer of 2021 that families can do and that they can prepare and maybe make up some of that lost time that you were talking about, maybe make up some of those knowledge gaps that so many people are talking about this year. And I will try, producer Paul, I'll get you the link to her website that has all this great information. If we can put it with the show notes, that'd be fantastic. But, there's so many great things that are out there that we can share with families and teams like Todd's team that are helping get these things out, both for schools and ed tech and all the new opportunities. I think, 2 weeks ago, we talked about the Bridge School and how we're offering summer courses that, you don't have to enroll in the Bridge School full time. You can enroll just for a course. And if your student has huge knowledge gaps in some of those core courses, I think about algebra, you're either the word nerd or the numbers nerd. And if you struggle in the other one, we can help with that. We can offer the opportunity to catch up or make sure you're completely understanding those concepts.
So I was a geography nerd and American history, not so much, but close. And God, I hated math, I'll tell you. And I couldn't stand to read those English lit books, but I love looking at maps, you know. And so FlipSwitch must be into that kind of visual thing these days, particularly interactive, rivers, state capitals, what crops are grown or whatever.
We do look at the maps because we're able to sort of plot out where if a particular school has concentrations of students in a certain area, we know that that's probably an area of opportunity. We can also look at the competitors to say, hey, they've got a lot of students in some other areas that maybe we should make sure that the story for our clients is being told in these areas too. So looking at maps and all that is definitely a big way of how we produce our strategy and a lot of our research.
So what's your website, Todd?
It is flipswitch.com.
It's very easy.
Yeah.
Chase, thanks for setting this one up. This is good.
Yeah, very interesting. Todd, thanks for letting us steal some of your time today. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Anytime.
Nice to meet you. Hope to see you again.
All right.
Thank you, Chase. All right, this is Ed in San Diego, and you've been on Global TV Talk Show. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us in the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show.
Have a wonderful day, and stay safe.